Hey everyone, Kendrick here, coming to you from our brand new 2024 Tab 400 from nuCamp. And I am trying to figure out how we get our favorite streaming app to come into this TV. For the past 4 years, we've simply plugged in a third-party streaming device like a Roku or a Fire Stick, one of those things, into the back of the TV, and that's been good enough. And you know what? It still would be good enough, especially if you're looking to minimize cost and effort. But we decided to look around and see what other options were out there. And we found a great option for a smart TV that meets all of our needs. It's the same size as our factory mounted TV. It mounts into the same bracket. It removes the need for a third-party streaming device. The TV has a built-in DVD player, which is great for people with newer model Tab 400s where they started removing the DVD player. And the TV runs on 12-volt power, which is another great thing for owners of newer models of Tab 400s where they started plugging the TV directly into the 110 outlet and running it off the inverter. And all of this comes from the 24-inch Silvox 12-volt TV DVD combo without much other song and dance, except for this. Here are 3 options for installing this 12-volt smart TV into your Tab 400. So, option number 1, if you have a 12-volt dumb TV in your camper already and you want a smart TV, like me, you simply pull out the TV, you will unplug the power cord and unplug the audio, the cable, and the HDMI, and simply replug all of those cords in to the new TV after you've removed these 4 screws and then remount the new TV. And that is it. And option 2, if you have one of the newer models of Tab 400 with the 110-volt dumb TV, but really don't want to go through the trouble of rewiring a 12-volt smart TV, you can still put in that 12-volt smart TV because there's a 110-volt adapter. You would just replace the TV, just like in option 1, and take the supplied 110-volt power cord and run it straight into the outlet that the TV is currently wired into. But then you would have a smart TV. And then there's option 3, which of course is the most difficult and obviously the one that we chose to do. Recently, nuCamp began offering their newer year models of the Tab 400 with a 110-volt factory installed TV. So, if you have one of these 110-volt dumb TVs and would like to replace that with a 12-volt smart TV, then this is the option for you. First, let's gather the tools needed for the job. Number 1, Silvox TV, and then screwdrivers, a Phillips and a square head, wire cutter and stripper, 14 gauge wire, splicing connectors. We went with the Wago 221, 15 amp fuse, and lastly, I always like to have a headlamp on hand because you never know how much light you're going to have when you actually get into the depths of your camper. Now that we have all the tools needed for the job, let's start with the installation process. First off, we need to shut off the battery at the battery disconnect. This is accessed from the outside of the camper and the little hatch door. Now, we'll unscrew the faceplate and outlet located below the TV that the current 110 power cord is plugged into. Once you do this, you'll be able to remove the old power cord completely. Also, unplug all of the other cables from the old TV but leave them in place. Next, we will remove the old TV via these 4 screws in the bracket on the back side of the TV and then mount the new TV. Luckily, these are standard mounts. Alright, I know for most of you out there, this is going to be a 2-person job, and for me, it's no different. So I just had to have Mandy help me, and now I get the glory of tightening the screws. So, listen for that beautiful click. Not going anywhere, so... Alright, so with the new TV, we have a little bit different orientation with our cables, but we still have our earphone out, or audio. We have our coax cable, and we have our HDMI inputs. So we will go ahead and make sure that we have enough slack in the line to get all of these plugged in. Alright, so last step in option number 3 is power. The first thing we'll do is remove any access panels between the TV and the fuse box. This will allow us to run the new power cord from the TV to the fuse box. In the 2024 year model, there are 3 panels to remove. One panel at the foot of the bed in the corner under the TV, another panel under the drawer located immediately above the fuse box, and the final panel under the bed mattress on the door side of the camper. Of course, this may vary between different year models. Next, we will remove the faceplate for the fuse box by removing a few screws. Next up, we'll take the 12-volt power supply from the TV, cut off the end of it. Trust me, I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing. And then we will strip off enough of the coating on the wire so that it matches up with the splicing connector that we are using, approximately 11 millimeters, I believe. Once we've done that, then we will begin running the power cord from the TV through the conduit, below the bed, and then through the drawers over towards the fuse box. Unfortunately, the power cord from the TV will not reach all the way down to the fuse box, but luckily we have our splicing connectors and some extra 14 gauge wire to use to bridge the gap between the two. Once the wires are spliced together, run the extra length through the open panels and down under the drawers to the fuse box. Once we get the wire down all the way to the fuse box, we'll hook up the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative, install a 15 amp fuse, and then we will be good to go. All right, now is the moment we've all been waiting for. We think that we've hooked up the TV correctly, and there's only one way to find out. We turn this battery on, we are not connected to shore power, and if the TV is on when we go back in the camper, we know we did our job right. So let's find out.
It's coming on! You seem surprised, Kendrick.
I have no idea what I am doing when it comes to wires and electricity and batteries and all that stuff. I am so happy that Mandy and I were able to get this thing to work. Look at that. There you go. You just did it. You just rewired a TV in your Tab 400 from 110 to 12 volts. To be honest, if this electrically illiterate engineer can do it, then so can you. So, here's to taking Netflix and chill out on the road with you next time you go camping. Happy trails. So, now that I did the hard work, Mandy, come clean this stuff up, please. Put it all back in place. All right, I'm out.